Good morning. It is Wednesday, November the 3rd, 2021. It's a couple of minutes after 9 o'clock. I apologize for the delay. We're having technical difficulties here in the courtroom. But the Special Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. And what we're here today is to discuss adopting our redistricting. And so let's start. Do we have, Mr. Kimbrough, we have you on the line? Well, we can't understand that. If you speak up, speak up loudly so we can hear you.
It's cutting out.
Are you on speakerphone, Mr. Kimbrough?
To the drawer.
Probably help if he picked
Let me call into the number with my cell phone and put it on the speaker. That may help. Hang on just a second.
Well, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
You can hear?
Yes.
Okay.
And our problem is this number's not working.
All right. Ready to start if you are.
Please, let's start.
Next to me is Josh Bristol, the GIS specialist, and he's got up on the screen, if you can see it, the illustrative Plan C map that we were asked to prepare for final form for consideration of adoption today, November the 3rd. Yesterday, I got an email from
That may help.
Jody indicating that Commissioner Harris had an issue with an area of interest on this map, and that y'all see this email?
Yes, I did.
We have paper copies.
And I had a chance to visit with Jody about it. And we understand, remember we made one change between precincts 4 and 1 for convenience? Do you remember?
Yes, and Josh is going to put the cursor where the precinct 1 boundary moved northwest. Put it on the one. Remember what we did?
Well, but we can see the maps. Let's see if we can get the cursor to enlarge it.
Chuck, our court reporter's having trouble hearing you. If you could speak up, that'd help.
Now, we move that line west.
Here, judges. Well, of course, it's not going to move it out here.
Is that sufficient? Doesn't that match what we talked about?
We can't see it.
We can't
You need to
tell.
enlarge it. Probably a little bit more than that for us to read it.
About that.
We need to see road names.
To look at it closer. That for video. Hello?
Yeah.
Can
We
you
can't see
tell
it.
them what road is, where road was it in precinct 4 that was in question?
Really?
Doyle Road. If we could get a zoom in on Doyle Road, I think we can discuss it.
All right, so do you see where his cursor is?
Yes.
No? Yeah, I see it now.
So up, down, left to right is Doyle Road.
It should be to the left and down.
Okay?
Somewhere
Yeah,
through
stop.
there. Now, the road that we had at the very top of this was Mary, I forget if it's Mary Ann or Mary Ruth. Mary Ruth. So we needed to go a little north of Mary Ruth, apparently. Is that correct, Bob? Are you looking
What
at
we
it?
need to do, Commissioner Baloo, if you could tell us where to move his cursor, up,
Just
down,
scroll-
left to right.
I think if he scrolls the screen down, we'd have a better idea, but we're a little close in on it. we gotta go expand past the border that we took in, recently.
So
Doyle-
it makes that 90 up at the top of the screen.
And that, oh,
Something's not lining up with
Yeah, I
that.
know.
I think the whole map needs to move and come down a little.
Yeah, bring the top of the map down to about the center of the screen.
Let me communicate with you. When you say the whole map needs to move down, tell us, you want to look north? You
Yeah,
want to
Look
look south?
north.
You want to look up? You want to look down? That tells us where to move the map.
Okay.
You want us to go up, look up north, or look down south?
We wanna look up north. There we go. Okay, not too far, that's about right. Now, I thought Doyle Road was all
All right.
taken in precinct 1.
We got a pointer here. Bob, don't stand on the chair.
Right here. That's the Mary Ruth Teague and all of that.
Okay, so
He can't see that.
it's
I'm
almost,
trying to tell the court.
it's almost square. There's a square there.
There's a right angle right in the middle of where it is right now, in the middle of that, for precinct 1. That's the area we're talking about. Can you see it?
Your cursor's on it.
Yes, do you see where his cursor is?
Yes. So if you can
That's the
zoom
very
in on
north.
that.
Is that the,
Just zoom in there.
we zoom in on that spot?
We didn't hear that, Chuck.
Yes, zoom in on it.
Yeah. Closer?
Closer? Okay. What do you see? Do you see any street names there, Bob?
Dingle, is that Dingle View?
Dingley.
Dingle?
Dingley
The
View.
road on top in red is Doyle Road.
Right. Can you show us a little bit more to the north?
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I do see what he's
There it is,
talking
good.
about now. He needs-
Okay.
He needs, I see what they're talking about now. That's the old line right there.
All this time, I thought that was in precinct already.
Well, they didn't make the move on this map. It needs, Commissioner Harris is correct.
Right.
They need to come north to,
Are we
we
on
need to go
Plan C?
north from, with this line, which I thought,
How far?
Well, until we get to the top of any accessible road from precinct 1, what we have in there is a canyon.
Right.
And there are no roads that go across.
Right.
So
See,
what we
this is-
thought we had done already was take in all the roads that
and
have
this
to go
is,
back.
based on this enlargement, this is the existing precinct 1 boundaries.
Now,
So what the line is, it would need to go further north and further west,
To take in just Doyle Road.
the other side, because Mary Ruth and all of those are up here.
What you're saying is it was inaccurate already.
What they presented is not what we had asked.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
okay.
I'm getting at.
So Mary Ruth was already supposed to be in this with Plan C, illustrative Plan C.
It's easier to see on that line.
Commissioner Harris's email, well, Jody's email summarizing Commissioner Harris's position said that the circle portion of the area which we're in it right now, the Doyle Road area was supposed to be taken out of 4 and placed into 1.
That is correct.
Yes.
We need to move this Doyle Road boundary north to the next green line, is that correct?
Yes. Well, we need to move it north to where there are no roads that connect.
We need to move it up past this.
Up past the top of what, the screen we can see now.
Right.
The point is, these roads go up in there and they have to come all the way back out down to Highway 16 South and go all the way back around to Ingram to vote. We're trying to avoid that. So any place north of where we're at now, where there are roads that do not go through to Ingram, we need to incorporate all of those roads into Precinct 1 for convenience sake, for those voters. Does that help you understand what we're trying to get done?
So, and so that would be not just a little move, but a move more to the northwest, outside the screen, right?
Yes, yes. And to give you the topographic description, Chuck, what we're doing is we're going up a canyon to a ridge line. And we get to the top of that ridge line, everything to the south needs to be in 1, and everything to the north of that ridge line needs to be in 2. The problem is, the ridge line is not on the map.
Yeah, right.
And so what you look at is there'd be streets coming up that hill from the south, and they have to, the only way they can get out is to come back down that hill. And then you'll see there's is it Indian School Road? Nadine, is it Indian School Road on the north side?
Is it? I don't know.
We had
Indian
another.
Creek.
Indian Creek?
Indian Creek.
Indian
Yes.
But
Creek.
it goes up, and then it just stops up there at Broken Arrow Ranch.
Right,
And
all
so-
of them dead end. But what we had done before, I looked at it before, and it had Mary Ruth in it,
Right,
which should have also, I thought, had Doyle in it.
but see, this
And that's the one we approved.
that's
Okay, this-
showing no
Let me
change.
interrupt you.
Right.
Yeah,
How we keep track of
it's in this.
things around here is to look at the deviation number in the top right-hand corner. This was the C plan that had a 4.15 maximum deviation.
Yes, we know
Went
that.
around the road and said, was this it? Was this it? Was this it? And it was.
Yes.
But to
Well-
change it, it's a simple matter of just doing the drawing now. And I want to suggest that we put the aerial photograph overlay. Would that help?
Sure.
Right, yeah.
Good. See if this helps. Okay. Yeah. You're okay. So you want to go all the way to the left side of the screen now, and maybe some more to add some territory. Is that correct?
We just
Yeah.
want to stop it at Doyle Road, apparently.
Well, no, we don't. That's not where we want to stop it. We have to go past Doyle Road to get those fingers.
And kind of,
The roads that come off of Doyle that
Yeah.
are dead end roads.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So in other words, both sides of Doyle is what I'm trying to say. And whatever little tributaries come off of it. Or feeder roads or whatever you call them.
Teague, Mary Ruth,
Elizabeth Dale, or Hazel.
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 The map we had talked about was supposed to have
Hazlet.
taken all that in.
Yeah.
The furthest, most northern
Yeah.
road there is Mary Ruth.
Well, I'm pretty sure what happened, and Chuck, I'm just going to try to get us back on track here. Remember when we had all that technical difficulty in that session? We had made this change for this convenience early on,
Right.
and I think in all of that technical difficulty where we were trying to reconstruct what we had done, we forgot to go back and re-add this to the one that we finally approved.
I think that's right.
And so what we're trying to do today is go back and pick it up and add it to everything else that we finalized. This was just an oversight that we didn't realize that it was lost.
So now let's talk about where to shade and add territory and look at the numbers.
Okay? If you could
So-
zoom out,
Zoom south a little bit, Josh, to
Oh.
get this area.
well, I think
All
that
right. Is that right?
it would help if you zoomed out a little bit and then let us zoom back in so we can, because we can see where the road's dead end and explain them to you.
Okay.
As I'm looking
You
at
need to zoom out more than.
that, I think that's probably enough right there. But Bob, you see up there at the upper left-hand corner that is that angled white line coming in? Is that Indian Creek Road?
No.
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 no, Indian Creek should be to the north of Mary Ruth and all
Right.
of those.
Yeah.
Well,
And maybe.
I know it comes up in dead ends, and I'm trying to find it because that tells us the northern side of the slope.
If you'll zoom out,
Zoom out.
bring it down.
Indian Creek is gonna be right about there.
Oh, okay. Well, then
It's
that's not gonna
closer
help
to
us.
Ingram than,
Yeah.
but it's on the other side of the ridge.
Well, let's start zooming back in on that corner.
Put it right there for a minute.
Stop.
Stop.
In my opinion, this area right here is where we're wanting to try to go to the north. I know we gotta find a boundary, but would you agree?
I think that's right.
Can you see a street name at all up there?
There's no streets running
No.
east-west, they all
Okay.
terminate.
They stop there, and that's probably the top of that ridge there, I guess.
I mean, it'd almost be easier, Judge, maybe to take a picture like this and just kind of draw a line from here, like, over like that.
The problem is the map
Because
we
we
have, you
want,
can't read
the line needs
specs.
to be between Indian Creek and T. And it needs between Kelly Creek and whatever that little road there is. It needs to come through here somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we describe that over the phone.
Well, you go
Well,
to
can-
the
can we-
furthest
Can
street.
we print a copy of that?
Um,
And then we can scan it and send it to them so they can see what we're looking at on this map.
yeah.
Well, I think too, if he pulls up that illustrative plan C, it has the street names on there. I think that might, I just don't know if he's
I
got
can't
the
read 'em.
capability
Can't either.
of moving it on that one.
Well, we have a hard time seeing the street names on this.
Right.
But I think if you move to this illustrative plan C, they can zoom in and,
Well, that's what I'm looking at, I think.
Okay.
I gave,
Yeah,
see that.
Is that what
I've
we're
got that, but-
freaking out? Oh, okay.
I mean, I can, we can take it up. Because we need to draw a line,
There, okay.
kind of something like this. From somewhere over here, up and over,
Okay, so this
everything
whole-
south of that, and they need to find a boundary there.
Let me take a photo with my.
The line has to go to the top of the ridge, because there are no roads that go beyond that.
See, they got this part,
Yeah, they got that.
and that's
Do you want me to take this
simplicity.
down?
No. I'd stop for,
Dr. Wall?
So in precinct 406, if you guys can concentrate on that, about
Is that gonna be nothing?
in the lower extremity of
yeah.
406. It's hard to above where you have the right
Can you
angle.
draw on that? I'm not gonna draw
Oh,
it.
I don't know, I don't think I can. Maybe, I've never tried.
You're gonna see, we can't make out the road names here, but you're gonna see Doyle Road and all of the little roads that come off of Doyle Road.
We're gonna try to zero in on election precinct 406.
Okay.
He's gonna shade it right quick.
Okay, here. Okay, no, you can just with your finger circle.
Do I have to use my finger?
I don't know. Pen on. Maybe you do, I thought I just had it.
Is that kind of right, Judge? When you touch it, you're gonna have marks on it, maybe.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Did Commissioner Harris give
Exactly.
you a southernmost road in 406, Jody? Did he send that in any information?
No, he just circled that area and said.
We
to
just
bring
drew it
the
with my
streets
finger
in.
on the phone, and she's gonna text that to him.
This is what he gave me.
Yeah. But we can't, this is almost useless, these maps, because you can't read the
You
roads.
can't read the roads.
And while we're trying to get in on this, Chuck, the problem that we're going to have
It's all 406.
is that this is,
That's what,
we don't have physical
you see
features.
the Doyle area, we show that as completely 406 election precinct.
Right.
Right.
Now go to that right angle that we've been talking about.
Right where the
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Go north of that. There you go.
Good.
Keep moving the cursor, please.
Going north. Keep going north.
Move the cursor up a little down now. Right there. That's about what we need to take in.
Can you zoom in on that and we can see streets? The problem up there is you have some little roads that have one person, two people living on them.
Yeah,
You don't want to cut one of them out.
a little trail somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, it goes off in the cedar and that's it.
Well, but the property line of the north side of that Turtle Creek Estates ought to be constant. That's that, because the other side, you roll over into Kelly and all those coming off of Ingram. So the north perimeter of what was at one time Turtle Creek Estates ought to be constant lines. which is-
Use a subdivision.
Yes, subdivision line, and it's 50, 60 years old, but that's
And,
what we're looking for.
and Commissioner, I think that's what that solid green line, I think it's a little off, but if you look at the timber line right in the center,
Yes,
see how it's clear?
yes,
Yeah.
Just down, then the timber line starts again.
that makes sense.
And it looks like it's some right of way over to the west as far as a fence line, a fence right of way.
Yeah,
Do we have any street names there?
There should be the Mary Ruth, Teague, and what was that one?
Mary Ruth and T were supposed to be.
Hazeldale.
What we had said before was that was the northernmost road,
yeah,
Here's
unless somebody discovered something new.
Teague in the center, that should be Mary Ruth.
Right?
And
Hazelette Dale.
Hazelette Dale.
Right. And that's what we had in the map.
And that's,
That we
that's
lost.
exactly what Commissioner Harris is asking us to get over into precinct 1.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they moved the lower part on this map, don't you agree?
Yes. Yeah, this has changed from what we
Don't mean
had
to.
approved. So you guys understand that on your end, Chuck?
Then it's got the map with
Really?
the line drawn on it, kind of. Chuck, can
But
you?
we want to go by streets.
I know, but there's no street they can go.
So
by.
what Commissioner Gibson suggested is going by that that old subdivision line
Yeah.
would be good.
Yeah. Chuck, can we use subdivision lines?
We discussed that earlier, he didn't like it, but we utilized it in the trimming of 2 and 3.
Yeah, we did.
The census block track lines, appears in green on your screen, east to west.
Yeah. Well, that would take it in, wouldn't it? That east to west line.
That's, if
I think that would
green-
do it.
The green is the census block?
Yeah.
In my opinion, it would.
Okay.
Chuck, it looks like if you can get a little closer in that census block line is probably fine as long as part of any of those roads there don't extend past it. I don't think they will.
What we're gonna do is zoom in on that line, Commissioner Baloo, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Sure, that'd
good.
be great.
Bob, make sure that we don't get anybody that's over in 4 that gets caught up, moved
Right.
into 1,
Right.
that has to go exit out onto 39 to get back into.
We create the problem from the other direction.
And the people on the north side are okay unless we move it too far.
That'll be a property line. I think the Census Bureau used the property line.
Yep, that's what
You
happened.
mentioned that maybe it's off of a fence line.
Yep.
Looks like it.
We could use the census block line
Would be all this.
to add territory if that's what y'all want to do.
Now, there's some little roads that appear to go north of that. If whether they're cattle trails or driveways or what, be hard to know.
They don't look to be public roads.
Yeah.
No.
Well, some of our public roads don't appear to be public roads.
Stan,
You know,
okay, do you want him to zoom out and try to shade area for inclusion and look at the numbers?
yes?
And you know where we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Nothing north of that line.
We're fixing to try to get into it, but,
Okay.
bear with us a second.
That whole thing was well about a guy named Dale Evans. Serious. And he had that house up on the top of Highway 16.
All right, now that's
to the
blocking.
left,
Okay, I want you to see something here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir?
Where the line thing is.
This is the census block.
Okay.
Yellow area is the census block, but we need to connect down there to purple, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah. We need to see what that looks like with a wider view. Because it looks like it's
Wider
cutting
view.
it looks like somebody else is getting cut out now between the purple and the yellow.
Yeah, we need to go at least to
Well,
Doyle
what I
Road
was-
south.
Don't we need to add the rectangles on the bottom to connect to purple?
Yes.
Uh-huh. But we can't tell much about it with the view we have here. There you go. There you go. Now that runs, what's the road to the left there?
No, I'm sorry. Back up. Take that one. All right. Now scroll down, or look south.
There's a road there.
Is that
All right, so if we add the gold area to the purple, is that the first scenario you want to look at for numbers?
For sure. Yeah, that we include that for sure.
Right. Now what it, to the left on the screen to the left, Chuck, it looks like there's a road there. What is that?
Is it diagonal?
It's diagonal.
I believe that
Is that pipeline?
there's a power line that comes in.
Power
there.
line.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
makes
power
sense.
line
That
line.
makes sense.
It's a Sendero.
Yeah, all right, good. Now we know what, that was fucking me.
Because I believe there's a substation
I
on
think
Doyle
you're right.
Road.
Is that substation, the white area, the developed
Yeah.
area?
Yeah, well,
I bet so.
probably.
Can we zoom in on what looks to be the white area at that point?
Yes, sir?
We just want to make sure we're not cutting somebody out.
I think we already have that in.
Not that.
Yeah, I think we, you
This
know,
doesn't.
all we're doing is,
I don't know which one you gave.
we're redoing what we did.
Is that what you want to look at?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, lower, go south a little. Again. Where'd it go?
Further south.
Farther south, one more notch. Now,
To the east.
To the
and
east.
south.
Right at the bottom.
South.
One more click. Right there.
yeah,
That white spot, what is that?
Looks like a ranch.
Right there?
Yeah.
There's a structure, zoom in.
Yeah.
That looks like a house.
well,
Is it in?
Okay, now, Chuck,
And that's Doyle Road, on the south.
Yeah, we need to get that.
that needs to come in.
Right.
yeah.
Zoom out. That's wrong. That's a different census block.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
That's the big one, all right. That's that big census block.
Okay.
I wonder why it's sawtooths around there. It's a ranch boundary, I guess.
That-
We could probably we use fence boundaries in other areas, but I don't use a fence boundary here.
Yeah, I think it'd be all right. Can you zoom out a little bit? Let's get a bigger picture of it.
What big ranch is over there, Harley?
I can't think of what,
Spicer and Strohacker and
Rios are
Real,
in there,
way back up in there, the Real.
but I don't think that's what that, I'm not oriented yet.
This looks like it's further down.
I'm just trying to make sure that we put things that are gonna be in that Turtle Creek drainage basin in one, and the
Yeah.
ones that are gonna be in the Kelly Creek drainage basin
Yeah,
in 4.
Can you come back out some more? Can you zoom out?
Zoom out?
Yeah.
yeah, right
I want to
there.
get the big picture of this. All right, so that's what's just been added.
We
Compared
hadn't added
to,
it yet.
No.
We
Well,
just marked it for
Yeah.
discussion.
we understand,
Well,
we
that's what I'm
understand.
talking
Okay. So the branch house thing's already in precinct 1.
so what we're
correct?
gonna end up with
4.
there is,
4.
there's still, if there's any population in that area there, that where it dips down in to precinct 1, they're still gonna have the same issue. I don't know what's in that area. It may just be ranch land there.
So purple is 1,
Purple is one,
yeah?
and the other is what we're proposing to add in, provided that we've gone up far enough north. But see, there's
Do
a,
you want to see the population numbers on the screen?
Sure.
If we do that, it's better to look at it without the aerial photograph. You can see the numbers better. Is that
Well-
okay?
well, hang on a second before you do that. In that area, that little hollowed out area there between what we just talked about adding and in the see there, your cursor's in it, come on down. All of that area down there, what, is there population in there, or is that just ranch land?
You zoom in and look for houses, or we can put the population numbers up and take the aerial photograph overlay out.
Okay,
Better.
well,
Yeah, let's look at
we need to know if
population
there's any people that are getting missed. Also up to right next to the area we're considering, there's a little pie-shaped area there. We need to see if any people live in that area.
Is that directly east
Yes.
of the gold boundary?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Top.
little wedge there.
Yeah,
Let's zoom in on that area right quick and just see if we see structures. Keep going.
Definitely a fence line there.
Or it's probably a big census block.
1 house,
Yeah, but that road seems to be going to the north.
yes, you're right.
So I think that's ridge line.
Down
You can kind of see that ridge going down that. I think that's okay.
south of the yellow boundary.
Well, part of it's in that
Left,
yellow block.
Cuts across with the road access.
left,
Yeah.
now south.
Well,
Now,
but
all right, you see,
Can't fix
see,
it.
we're going south of the gold boundary now, a little bit more south. I don't see houses. Maybe down in the right-hand corner, zoom in where right there.
Yeah, there's
That's
something.
a
in there.
house,
Yeah.
up. That's a house.
yeah.
Yeah, those should not be in precinct 4 if this is a convenience thing.
Yeah.
That need
So
to-
there is some,
They need to bring that line straight down, don't they?
Yeah. Probably just need.
Yeah. What if, Chuck, if we take where you have the yellow block that we're considering and just, there's a line there, maybe a fence line or something, you can come straight down that and connect it to the purple, down to the red line?
look more, oh. All right, now tell me the move that you're.
What I'm proposing
you're
is
talking
you,
about.
you come down there from that corner, you got a corner on the right, another corner middle, and a third corner up higher on the left. If you come down from that middle corner straight down there, there's some kind of a fence line or road or something there that you could follow down to where it ties back into precinct 1. The purple.
I think to the southwest of the shaded gold area is one large census block. Check that, Josh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is. Go south. Look south. All right, now if we took
So,
all
yeah.
of that in,
That's fine, but this is gonna change the,
population, that solve your,
No,
what's the rest of
took
that?
all of
it
that
will.
in, would that solve your,
Well, what's to the left of it?
okay, what's to the bottom?
There's
below?
something there.
Is that another census block?
Yeah, that is a census
For
block.
houses.
I'm afraid we're gonna get houses that are gonna exit out onto 39.
See any structures
If,
around, see, find houses,
Judge,
yeah. Or,
if the ranch is split
left,
by one of these lines,
up,
can the people not choose
up,
where they want to vote?
okay, now go across
I
the
think it
top.
probably depends on their mailing address.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind
Where
of,
the house is.
yeah, but, I mean, well, we're dividing one ranch right here, so where there's 2 homes, one family member's gonna vote in one precinct, one to the other.
It could be a possibility.
Yeah.
But,
So-
what we're really trying to do is anybody that's on the north side of that northern slope of that ridge line, we want them to go down to 39 and into town.
Yeah.
Right.
And anybody that's on the southern slope, we want them to go down into Turtle Creek and in.
Yeah.
I guess my question, Bob, is how do you know where the houses are?
Well, he can look and see where the house is.
No,
You're
I'm
talking about which
I'm
side of the
talking-
line.
I'm talking about a
it's
different
census.
issue a little bit.
Okay, so what is in that, where the cursor is sitting, are there any homes in there?
That's a huge, huge deal.
That's perfect. Now, there's something right there where his cursor is, but that maybe is an outbuilding for the barn.
However, it doesn't appear there's a great deal of population there. How would it hurt anything to put, just for safety's sake, to put that in one?
Well, my concern is then you're gonna have people that live over off 39 having to drive all the way back
Is
into
that
town
where
and
that
back out.
is?
Yeah. That's out there
What's
with,
the-
that's out there
what's
with
the main
Royale
road
Ranches.
I can't tell where the ridge line is that we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I can't see it anymore either.
That big census block is messing us up. We were closer to knowing where the ridge line was before we put it in. Because I think
just
that,
can't tell from
I
this
think the
map.
upper part of that big census block, what would be the northwest corner of it, that
Now, this,
part.
the goal right now has two big census blocks. Take the second one out, Josh, to show them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of, I think that cuts it off.
Get at it again. And that's the second.
What's the
That-
population in that block and the roads? This is all dependent on roads that don't go
One at
through.
a time. We'll do it one at a time.
Okay,
You're talking about the,
that census block.
total population. Goes 0. The whole area.
Now, the thing is that originally, as I recall, when we incorporated part of precinct 4 and from 406 to 107, I think there was 40 people in there, somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 people. We might be able to backtrack by the population numbers and figure out where we should have had it in.
That was right here.
Right. But if that census block has 0 population, we're not adversely affecting anybody.
Not right now.
Chuck, let's go back to that first census block and let's look at the numbers on it.
Okay?
And those little,
48 people.
48 people.
That's what we
That's
typically.
where we're
We
at.
need to add that little sliver at the bottom.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got some on the bottom.
Yeah, we need to pick those up.
Yeah,
Now what are we?
56, the total in that configuration is 56 people, 56.
Okay.
We want to help those 56 people be able to have it easier to vote.
yeah. We want them to go south.
Yeah. So within that yellow block, the northernmost road is what? Can you read it?
Up there at the top of the new census cell. The gold one.
Okay, we want to zoom in north.
And I think it's just going to be a census block. It's not going to be. We have to find the road.
there's no road.
But there's roads in
I
there.
know.
West.
What roads are in that census block?
What are the northernmost roads that we can find inside that census block?
Take the yellow off.
Yeah.
You can see from.
Yeah.
So, we see the cursor on the left. Can you read that name back there? That's Mary Ruth.
That's good.
Okay.
And then if you come back to
Going
the
to the east.
go east, that should be Teague.
Say it again.
Teague.
T. All right, then go to the east. What's that?
Hazelet Dale.
Okay. I don't see any other ones listed on our map.
As long as it goes to the extent of that road
It does. I can see them.
and a little beyond in case they,
Yeah.
add to the road. And then if this takes in
What do you
Doyle,
mean by a little beyond?
yes, and that's the census block, right? Just a little beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Yes.
Doyle is still in this?
Yeah, it's we got to come a little bit south to see Doyle.
Yeah.
South.
There's Doyle.
There's
there you
Doyle.
go.
It's on the purple.
See, that's
That's
what I
what we
was
want.
saying. Doyle was
Yeah.
in precinct
Yeah.
1, at one side of the road, I
But we're
guess.
picking up Mary Ruth, Teague, and Hazelet Dale. That's what we're really picking up.
And we determined the west side of Doyle does not have any population, if I understood correctly.
Right. That census block has 0.
So
This is why when you said Doyle, I was thinking, well, it's in precinct 1.
Well, but it was
only
just the
half.
south side of the road.
Yeah. So,
if we take that census block, we've accomplished what we started
I
out.
think that's right.
I'll tell you what, for an imprecise science, this is as close as we're going to get.
I just don't want that call. Hey, you forgot
Well-
me.
We'll try it.
No, we tried. So that census block apparently will work if you will put the yellow back up there where you can see it one more time.
We need the census block and then those little blocks along Doyle Road there at the bottom. Right
There
there.
we go.
That's it.
There, I think that's right.
Zoom out. Is that it?
Yes, sir?
I think so. And there's
Want to look at
no,
the numbers now?
Yes?
Make that purple.
48 people, 56.
56 is what he picked up.
The deviation did not change. It's still 4.15.
Thanks, John.
All right, and so that little wedge to the right of that, back to the east, there's no population in there?
Where he has his cursor,
Yeah?
I guess.
I see it.
Yeah, any
Well, add
population
that
in
to-
there?
goes around the corner of it. I wanted to mark this census block where he has his
Okay.
cursor.
Go ahead.
You want to consider that as well?
Well, not all of that. I was just trying to see if there was any population in there. So that they can drive
It
south.
says 10 people.
How many?
It says it has 10 people.
And they're coming
How many to the further southern part where you get to the top of the new section of precinct 1? In a straight line there, is there any population?
I'm not sure.
In that census block you just highlighted?
It isn't for the yellow.
Okay. The southern part of it, starting at that right angle where the purple is and going straight across, is there any population in the sea? Because it dips way far south. Yeah, there you go. Is there any population in any of that?
Yeah, it was like 8 people.
The machine only tells you the total population in
In
the
the
gold
census.
shaded area, i.e. the census block.
Are there any dwellings in there? Did we check that?
We did. We saw one. Take the yellow off and zoom in at the bottom.
So if there's another house in there, that person, that domicile needs to be taken in to precinct 1. Because they have one way in and one way out there.
Stop right there, stop right there.
Just extend the line over.
Is there any way that we can close in that, the blade of the knife that was going down south and keep all of that purple? That's what we're looking for. Roads, creeks, whatever we can.
Fence
Not
line.
without splitting a census block.
Well, but this is, the point of this whole, the point of all of this that we're doing is for convenience for that voter. If there's one household there and one person, they're driving all the way on Highway 39 back around, or Highway 16 back around to Ingram to vote.
I think it'd be cheaper for us just to pay for their postage to mail in their ballots.
Down to the corner.
We find out that
Well,
they
it's
haven't
true.
voted since 1957 and don't care to.
I understand the problems with splitting census cells.
Yeah, we get that, but this is, you know,
Yes, that's it.
to do all this and leave one person out would be kind of
What?
The big house, big square.
defeat the purpose.
Yeah, but which side of the watershed is it on? That's what makes the
That's
difference.
the problem.
If it's on the northern side of the watershed, we're okay. If
Well, I
it's on
think
the
it
southern
is.
side.
Well, look, there's Doyle, or not Doyle Road, there's Mary Ruth, there's the ridge up there in the northern, yeah, that new block.
And then
I
it
was
looks like
just
it's
concerned that
pastures.
somebody way down there far in the south part, there might be somebody there. If it's north of that, we shouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. But even if they're down south, Harley, we can't split that census cell without affecting the people that are on the northern side of the watershed.
But apparently there is no house down there in that southernmost part.
I wish the census people had done this the way we're doing it.
You wonder how in the world
They just threw a map on the table and did it.
It's
They don't take any regard as to
kind
In
which
that
side of the watershed you're
southernmost
on.
part of that little,
of like the old survey chain gangs.
Yeah.
that little knife or whatever it is, there's no house down there.
and what's the rhyme to reason for the census blocks anyway?
Hey,
Okay, and work your way up.
this is what it's
please.
always been. I don't
Page-
know.
Page that down, and let's see if there's
Why
any,
can't why do they have to-
No, nothing.
because there's a road. Is there a house, is that a house there above the cursor? No.
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 Okay, keep going. So I don't, maybe there's nothing there at all. There's no
Just
house
leave it
there.
alone.
Keep going.
That all looks like it's connected to that big house that probably looks like to me it's over on the northern side of the watershed.
Yeah, once we get up to that corner, yeah, okay, don't worry about it, we're good.
Yeah,
We're
we're
good.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah. See.
That's the house.
Yeah, but
well,
all of that
That's on the other side of the ridge.
that flows out onto 39.
Okay. Okay, that ought to complete it.
Good work.
That's pretty much what we did before, except that we didn't take it in as a census block before. I don't think that we discussed that. We talked about the roads and where they dead ended, so that may be an improvement over what we have.
Well, it might be. You don't have that north side of a road kind of a issue. Yeah.
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 I think somebody got that big house up there at the top of that ridge, and then just got pasture on the other side.
Mhm.
But that's a pretty view up there.
Yeah.
That's what I go, I mean,
Trying to think where.
I know it's where the
we
house is,
are
but-
in there.
y'all aren't gonna go zero in on, if it's a proper ranch, you're not gonna zero in on where the house is, figure out where the voting card goes.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
to the best of their ability.
Don't forget, we're working with Bob Reeves. And he's gonna get it right.
To the best of their ability.
I rest my case.
And every time he talks about his Tybee High School math, you're really doing a pretty good advertisement. You know how to sharpen that pencil up.
Are we done?
I think we're gonna be done.
I'm done.
I think we want to be done.
If my house is still in there somewhere, I'm happy.
To be focused.
The question I always want to ask, does this configuration change the residence of any elected commissioner? Affect the residence location of any commissioner, JP, or constable?
No,
I don't think so.
I know where they live.
We just added to it, so.
You say you don't think so, that means I gotta keep drilling.
Okay.
It does
I
not.
need to know.
It does not.
It does not.
We need to address that.
Well, the thing is, last time
Yeah, doing this.
the last time we settled on this, I thought all this was in there and I said, we're fine. I don't know if anything else has changed. If nothing else has changed, then
We're
I
good.
should be in there.
Look, Commissioner Baloo,
Yes,
you
sir.
see the number that we started with today, 4.15 maximum deviation plan. I can assure you that nothing has changed since I was sitting with you.
Okay. All right.
Now something has changed. The number's still the same, but something's changed. So we're gonna go around the room and make sure all the residence addresses are okay if this is what you're thinking about doing.
Okay, go ahead.
When we started this meeting, the plan that you had on the board when I was sitting with you was the plan we prepared. C, 4.15. There have been no changes. We made no changes since I was sitting with you until now. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what do you want us to do with this move?
Finalize it?
Do you think, okay, then let's go around the room again and make sure that every residence address for elected commissioner, JP, and constable has not been affected, okay?
I can speak.
Precinct 1,
There's been no change.
Yeah, it takes in all, if it takes in all of Upper Turtle Creek Road, then we're okay. Because that's another dead-end road that runs up in there.
There's no change in precinct 1.
precinct 2,
No change in precinct 2.
precinct 3.
We're good.
And Commissioner Harris is not here to speak for 4. but
I'll speak for 4. I live in 4. I live right down the hill there. There's no change.
Okay. It's the map that appears to be the consensus to vote on.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, we've changed this. Does this have to be posted? And we have to wait again?
No, we can vote.
Don't want to add the land, the knife, the dagger, you don't want to add that?
What's the question?
That splits a census cell. You told us that was not advisable.
Yeah, that's fine. That won't hurt anyone. That won't change anything for them.
So, no further adjustments to this map screen, correct?
Correct.
Now, Commissioner Harris's absence is a problem for me.
Why?
We know that this matches with his position.
With the change that was made, yes.
Well, I have a question about that, because the two changes with 1 and 4 included this area, which was on the map at the time. It also included Methodist Encampment Road. I'd like for us to look at that before we make this final decision, make sure that wasn't removed also. There was a portion of Methodist Encampment Road where both sides of the road were precinct 1. One side of the road, the northern side of that road, was given to precinct 4 for convenience. If we didn't save this, maybe we didn't save that.
It's worth taking a look at.
Yes, it is.
So let's take a look at Methodist Encampment Road inside the city of Kerrville.
It's on the west side of, southwest side of Kerrville, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, it's not south of Kerrville. It's on the
It's gonna be
northwest side.
northwest side.
Sorry, yeah. Is that the area?
See, the Arcadia Loop was left alone. Okay, yeah, see that where the red is, the red line there?
Yes, sir.
That now is part of precinct 4, beyond that, south of that?
Yes, sir. The 4 line went to the right.
Okay. That was precinct 1 before. And then back, north of that a little bit, north and back east, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right, that's all in precinct 4, that's good. That was
Okay.
the exchange basically for convenience.
Yes.
The red line is the existing precinct boundary today on the ground, and the colored area is the move area, the expanded boundary.
Good.
And that's exactly what we wanted. We straightened it out on Methodist Encampment Road.
Right.
Yeah.
Southeast side of the county, between 2 and 3. We'll look at those positions,
We're good.
We're good.
okay? Well, again, concerned about not having Mr. Harris here. Let me talk to you about procedure. Are you anticipating voting today on a map plan that's on the screen but not in documents in front of you, attached to a proposed vote order?
Yes.
If we could,
Yes.
but we're listening to you.
Actually, that's not the best practice and procedure, but it has been done. It has been done before, where you memorialize the position verbally for the minutes, make a recorded vote, and if it passes, and follow up with the attachment, hopefully tomorrow.
So we
Well-
can vote in the next regular meeting?
That's not the predicate.
No, then
That
I'm
is
not
not
gonna
the, that is not the
Could.
position predicated by
But
your
I'm just
public
saying,
notice
we got the
documents,
same thing.
Memorialize.
but your agenda language.
Yeah.
Chuck, here's the problem. Chuck, let me explain the problem. Okay? This redistricting requires a record vote, right? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay? We have one commissioner absent today. If we do not adopt the redistricting plan today as drawn on what we have on the screens here, and we put it off till later, we're going to have a different commissioner that will be absent. And so we're going to have, this record vote is going to only be from 4 of us anyway. Whether we do it today or whether we do it next week or,
And we have a deadline,
If
right?
we do it Monday, we're -2.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're
Worried about.
we're going to,
I'm not concerned about the procedure of having less than the full complement of the court, less than 5 members. You can do it on a majority.
I understand.
With a quorum present and a majority. But I was just concerned about making the move without confirming Commissioner Harris's position.
Well, he had already, in the meeting where we thought that we had made these changes, he had already said he agreed to these changes in that meeting.
And he's also the one who pointed out the error that we worked through this morning.
Right.
And if
Well, I hear you on that, but represent all of you and
Chuck, this is Heather.
make,
Would it be better to recess today, come back tomorrow after I've had an opportunity, or you've had an opportunity to talk to Commissioner Harris about what's being proposed right now?
Don't adjourn, just recess, so that we don't lose our posting.
I won't be here tomorrow. I'm out of town.
We're really,
Disregard.
we're talking about, see, isn't the fact that Commissioner Harris brought this up
I get to,
basically his consent to the changes?
Yes,
It's implicit.
I agree.
I get to work with you in
You're
I get
cut.
to work with you in sequences, but y'all work together every day. If y'all are comfortable that the moves made today are consistent with Commissioner Harris's email to Jody, or his conversation with Jody yesterday, Jody Grinstead, then I'm fine.
We are,
Make sure that you hear from me. I would certainly welcome his input. But if you're ready to move forward today, you can. Again, it's not the best practice and procedure.
we are comfortable that we have met his concerns, and he has approved what we have rectified here today. This is to his satisfaction. I am comfortable with that.
It is not the way we usually do things, but if you want to vote on this map today, you can. And we can follow up with the documents hopefully tomorrow.
Can I make a motion now? And what is the motion if I was to make one?
Would we accept the changes?
You're going to have to memorialize this plan and call it something, Commissioner Letts. So why don't we call it Draft Plan D Delta D Delta.
That's it? Draft Plan D?
Memorial.
Call it internally for us.
Okay?
Okay.
Then,
Would be on the map. This would be on the map. Illustrative Plan 2. Arabic 2. Arabic number 2. Not Roman numeral 2. Arabic number 2. We must differentiate draft plans in our system from ones that get voted on or up for a vote. So we had Illustrative Plan 1. That's been changed now by the Draft Plan D. Draft Plan D for approval turns into Illustrative Plan 2.
okay, Chuck,
Maximum deviation of 4.15 under the configuration shown on this.
okay. I'm going to take a stab at it.
B2.
Commissioner Letts and I are going to take a stab.
We're going to call
Chuck.
this Draft Plan D. That's number 1. Draft Plan D.
Right, I got it.
Set it up for a vote. Set it up for a vote today by calling it Illustrative Plan number 2 with deviation, maximum deviation of 4.15%. With the configuration shown on the screen right now. And somebody, we're going to zoom out in just a second. Somebody can take a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
Here at the meeting. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we only see one of the changes right now in the view.
Go ahead and zoom out and get it.
Zoom out and zoom out and get it.
Who's going to take the screenshot?
Now, wait a minute, just, I want there's a screenshot of the whole, and then we're gonna go into the move that was made.
Okay.
Take a screenshot of the change, okay?
Okay. Mr. Reeves is taking a screenshot.
Uh-oh.
Don't just say, all right.
And Ms. Stebbins, for the record.
Then when you're ready, we'll move into the area that's changed.
Move in.
Precinct 1 and 4.
Move into the areas changed.
All right, zoom in.
We got them? Move into another, you want another one?
Can you page it down just a hair so that we can
Yeah,
see the top?
There it
line?
is,
There you
right
go.
there.
yeah.
Okay, we have the screenshot.
So, is there a vote?
I'm,
Me, when I was the presiding officer, I'd say, is there a motion and a second to call this plan, draft plan D, and illustrative plan number 2 for final approval?
So moved.
Second.
we've got a motion and a second to approve the redistricting plan. Draft Plan D, illustrative Plan 2 with a maximum deviation of 4.15%, with the configuration as presented on the screen, and the screenshots have been taken to memorialize that. Is there any other discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous, 4-0. A little unorthodox, Chuck, but we got it done.
I need to talk to you about your vote order.
Okay? Oh, I gotta go back to,
Daily issue.
we gotta do by
Record vote?
record vote. Precinct 1,
Yes.
Precinct 2,
Yes.
Precinct 3.
Yes.
Precinct 4 is absent. County Judge is yes.
All right, on your vote order, I'm assuming that you want the effective date for all purposes, election purposes for the primary and general election, and for any business or operational purposes, effective date January the 1st, 2022. Is
Correct.
that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I gave you a vote order to that effect. You could make it effective January the 1st, 2023 for everything except elections, with elections kicking in 22.
No,
But
we,
simpler, effective date 1/1/22 for everything, okay?
The census information already came in late, right? So we're already a little bit behind on all this. There's no reason to put anything off.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking at your orders here.
Yeah, I put footers on them, the ones that say.
Yes.
January the 1st, 2022 is the one you use.
Yes, I've got it. I see the footer.
And so those changes that you made, because your JP and constable precincts are coterminous with each other and coterminous with the county commissioners, your vote effectively changed county commissioner precincts, county JP precincts, and county constable precincts to the configuration shown by illustrative plan number 2, 4.15 maximum deviation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Understand, we will follow up documents for the attachment.
We understand that, and as of now, we have a signed order. We've all signed it. And I'm delivering it to the boss.
Unless there are further
They'll figure out where to put it.
comments,
Say what?
further questions or comments?
No, I think we're good. Is there anything else we need to do?
I guess we ought to talk about election precincts.
Okay.
You still believe, there's a directive out from the Secretary of State's office that puts the election precinct delivery deadline, I want to say mid-December, maybe it's December. There's some rumors going around that the Secretary of State said election precinct delivery, analysis delivery was due on November the 10th. We don't believe that. We believe that there's a written decision. So we're going to start working on your election precincts as directed, okay?
Yes, sir. Bob?
Unless there's further
Counselor,
comment or questions to us.
No, hold on just a second. Bob Reeves. Come on up, Bob.
Counselor, this is Bob Reeves with Tax Office. We've looked, we being my chief deputy and I, and we have some suggestions which would probably be the most beneficial. Should we just forward them to you?
probably need to talk to you on the phone about that
Sure,
first, if that'd be okay.
sure.
I've got your telephone number.
All right.
It's probably gonna be after the end of the week. It's running pretty fast around here right now, so, but I will contact you, Bob.
Thank you.
That's right.
Okay, I think we're good. Is there anything else, Chuck, we need to talk about?
Surely appreciate y'all doing this. It was very helpful for us to be able to set it up and get a solution for you. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, there being nothing else for the court today, we are adjourned.